The year is 2025 and Battlefield is finally back. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So, I've been playing Battlefield Labs for months and months, and also I've been playing, obviously, the current live beta like an absolute idiot. I've got about 20 hours or so in the game at the moment. What I want to do is put this video together to explain what is going on, because I think finally EA and Battlefield Studios have got a Battlefield game that they can finally work on and push forward, because a lot of the most recent iterations have been hit and miss. They've all had their problems. Now, what this game is the spiritual successor to Battlefield 3. Now, let me give you some of my credentials. I think I played Battlefield 4 for about 200, 250 hours, right? That's not a lot, right? Battlefield 3, thousands of hours. Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I'm not even exaggerating this, probably tens of thousands of hours, right? Well, maybe not that much, but tons of hours. That is my most played Battlefield game, like you would not believe. I also really enjoyed Battlefield Vietnam and Battlefield 1942. Played tons of that. Operation Market Garden, love that map, and also El Alamein. And I also played Codename Eagle. So I'm one of these gamers where, you know, I'm getting on in my 30s now. I've played the OG Battlefield games, but I had little interest in the games after Battlefield 4. Now, that means, is this game for me, this Battlefield 6 game? And the question, or rather the answer to that, is absolutely yeah, because this feels like it is the sequel to Battlefield 3 in a modern environment. Now, there's a lot going on in this game. So I'm going to just quickly gloss over some things. I think the weapons are fine. I think they play well. It feels good. The graphics are obviously top-notch. The performance is surprisingly good, especially for this beta. It's much better than it was in Labs. Labs had some really bad performance problems. So it's better, and they're working on that, which is great. Vehicles, tanks and infantry fighting vehicles, I think are fine. I actually think they're really fun to play with. The helicopters are absolutely trash, like you wouldn't believe. They need fixing. The jets as well, not the best. But I do think one of the issues with the jets and the helicopters is the map that we've got at the moment, the one with the mountains. Again, I forget the name of this. It's not big enough. It isn't big enough at the moment. They need bigger maps. So let's just talk about maps, and then let's just go through this. This is going to be unstructured, this video, because I've got loads of notes on things I want to talk about, but we're just going to get stuck into this. So let's talk about maps. Currently, at the moment, the maps are not big enough. We need a bigger map. I hope they give us a bigger map at some point to play, or maybe we're just going to have to wait until launch in October. The one thing I will say, though, is you spawn pretty fast. So the time to kill is pretty fast or pretty low, whatever way you want to look at that. People die really quick. The sort of time to dying, I guess, is a little bit slower because you can mess around on the floor. You're waiting for people to revive you. This is a Battlefield game. People won't probably revive you. They'll just leave you to die. I always play support, though, so I absolutely will defib you if I see you. But, yeah, you kill people really quick. You get killed really quick. You're back in the action again. You're spawning really fast. It's another massive firefight. It's dead quick. It's super fast. It's loads of adrenaline. Now, people are probably saying, well, that's not Battlefield. Battlefield is about these massive games of conquest and all of that. Actually, no. Battlefield 3, have you heard of Operation Metro? That was absolute meat grinder. That was infantry, nade spam, massive amounts of kills. It was insane. But let's go even further back. 1942, that used to have Stalingrad, and that was an absolute meat grinder. So I've got to be honest here, guys. Battlefield has always had meat grinder maps, and I'm not actually fussed about that with the map design and the way it sort of leans into how fast you die and how fast you kill people. It's fine. You'll get moments where you'll just mow down a squad dead quick because you flank them. That feels awesome. That feels great. But you'll also get moments where, you know, you'll die super fast in a 1v1. It might not feel great, but you soon forget about it because you respawn and off you go. Dare I say it, this is like an intersection between kind of the way Call of Duty plays and the way Battlefield plays. It's Battlefield 3, but in 2025. I think that's the best way I can explain this, with Battlefield Bad Company 2 stupid destruction. Although you can't level the entire map, but you can, I guess, smash most of it, or most of the places where people hide. You can't demolish the whole map. I guess let's talk about destruction. It's fine. This is the base level of destruction I'd expect in a Battlefield game. You will notice as you play it, there are lots of things that happen that look like buildings are exploding, and they might not necessarily be fully exploding. Maybe bits of a building fall off, or it's obscured with explosion, VFX. It's all fine, though. It adds to the Battlefield. This is what a Battlefield game should be. You should feel like you are constantly getting exploded, right? So they've nailed that. I think that's awesome. Time to kill, like I said, I have sort of touched on that. It is really fast, but I will say this as a counterpoint. Maybe you're just running out into the open, or the people you're watching, or maybe even my trash gameplay you're watching in this video, is me just running out into the open and getting murdered. If you're in the wrong position in Battlefield, you die. Again, this has been the way it's always been with Battlefield. You can't just run out into the open. you're going to get lit up. So, yeah, time to kill. I think it's going to be a debate we're going to have for a long, long time. The other thing I want to talk about, this might be controversial. I actually really like the open weapon system more than the class-restricted weapons. Now, gadgets have got to be class-restricted all the time, and they are, and that's fine. Primary weapons, though, I actually like the flexibility this gives you. So I've been playing support. Now, support has the... each class gets like a buff to a primary weapon, so support gets some sort of buff when they've got a light machine gun. But I've been using the assault rifles on support and actually really enjoying it. And dare I say, this kind of leans into like monetization, right? So they can sell weapon skins or whatever because everyone can use a different primary weapon. They do have restricted or closed weapon playlists which restrict the weapons to each class. So, for example, engineer can only have an SMG as a primary weapon. Assault can only have an assault rifle. And so on and so forth, which is fine if you want to play that, but I actually think the open weapon system's better. But this leads me to talking about the balance at the moment. So we'll talk about the engineer class, but I'm going to say this straight away. The fact you can take a Stinger and a anti-tank or an RPG together is insane, but this is actually being removed. The devs have said this is going. It won't be in the live version of the game, which is good, because you shouldn't have the ability to just wipe out aircraft and also wipe out tanks. That is insane. Now, in terms of class viability and like what's the strongest, weakest class, probably the weakest class is Recon, which is an insane thing to say in a Battlefield game. And partly I think that's to do with the way the maps are in the beta at the moment, where everything is way too close. The snipers can still get a lot of value, don't get me wrong, but there's tons of cover, like loads of cover. You can move around, you can use smoke grenades as well if you're support. I think Recon's probably the worst, but it's okay. It does what it says in the tin, it's Recon. Don't quote me on this, but I do believe the respawn beacon is being taken off Recon and is being given to the assault. Now, that's not in the beta at the moment, but I think that's coming in the future, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see. Let's talk about assault, because I think this probably is the most, like, I don't want to say broken, because balance is like, it's a Battlefield game, right? But assault has got a shotgun, which is insane. I mean, absolutely insane in close range. Has got a assault rifle, or of course you can take whatever you like. Has got the underslung grenade launcher as well, and has got the stim. This is a lot, really, I think, on one character. And also you can throw a grenade. It makes you super powerful. You've got an answer for everything, and maybe that isn't the Battlefield way, you know? It's like you shouldn't really be able to just do everything, and I feel like Assault can kind of do that at the moment. And support is, again, really strong. You've got the ammo, the health pack, you've got the defib, you've got the, you know, LMGs, which you're really strong with, but again, you can just take all the weapons. Like, I've been using the assault rifle, as I say, on support, and actually quite enjoying it. An engineer, yeah, it's just got every rocket launcher going all at the same time, which is obviously insane. I think engineer will be fine once they get rid of the double rocket launchers. So I think the class balance is fine, right? It's fine. I haven't really got an issue with it. I like the weapon system. I like the open weapon system. I like the weapon customization system as well. I think that's all fine, and I think it works quite well. So let's talk about infantry combat, because there are some stuff. Well, this is just completely ripped out of Call of Duty, right? You can slide. Now, I've actually found in the options, you can bind this to crouch. So when you press crouch, you will slide. Now, this is actually really strong because you just instantly slide. There's no need to crouch. There's no need to double tap crouch or any of that nonsense. You can just slide. This means you can like move around really slippery in close quarters combat, sliding around on the floor shooting. It, dare I say, it makes it a bit more arcadey. But remember, this is Battlefield. This isn't a mil-sim game. It's a game of massive explosions and stupidly powerful weapons, and like hundreds of players all go into task on each other. That's what it is, and I think it's fine. So that kind of movement thing can be a little bit jarring if you're like a Battlefield diehard. But again, for me, like I said, guys, I played all the old Battlefield games, and I've got so much time in the Battlefield like genre, but not on the most recent games because I just didn't enjoy them. This game, though, it's instantly clicked with me, but I think it's clicking with people that are sort of realizing what the other games didn't have, and it's probably going to be clicking with Call of Duty players and other players that are looking for like a more action-orientated game, which I think this is definitely going to give you. Also, talking to bigger maps, you got to remember the Battle Royale mode, Firestorm or whatever, is making a comeback. So that should be an absolutely massive mode. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays. BR games, whatever. I mean, it'll just be interesting to play. That's not my main focus. That's not what would draw me to a Battlefield game. I think what they've got in this game at the moment, Conquest, Breakthrough, Domination, all of those modes, obviously namely Conquest, are the modes that are bringing me to the game. I just wish they had a bigger map at the moment, which I think would allow us to be more conquesty. Sniper glint is absolutely outrageous at the moment. This is going to get toned down, but not by much. The devs have said they want this to be intentionally like, oh my god, there's a sniper over there. And I kind of agree with it, because you don't want the game to just be completely like, you know, everyone's camping. We've seen this before in older Battlefield games. Everyone's just on a mountain, you know, got the respawn beacon, they're firing away. Although I think the respawn beacon's being taken off recon. But, I mean, anyone can take a sniper rifle, right? You could just take one if you're assault now, if you felt like it. But yeah, it's really, really, really obvious. Right then, this Battlefield 6 is probably a generational leap. Now, I think we've got to be realistic here. Battlefield, it's always struggled to retain an audience beyond its initial impact. When the game launches, people will come and check it out, and then they bleed away. They don't necessarily grind Battlefield games out. You can go and look at the Steam DB figures for the other Battlefield games and get a bit of a snapshot as to who's playing what BF game. It's not like every game's got a massive audience. Some of them have got, you know, a couple of thousand people playing. Some of them have got hardly anybody playing. The community gets fragmented. What they need to do, and what I think they're doing with Vince Zampella at the lead, is saying we're going to create essentially this platform, which is the Battlefield platform, which is probably, you know, they would have looked at things like Call of Duty, the way that operates, and obviously things like Apex Legends naturally with like Vince working on this, and then saying we're going to do this for Battlefield, but how do we do this? And I think what they've done is given us as players everything that we've been moaning about has been missing from the other Battlefield games, probably since Battlefield 3 and maybe a bit of Battlefield 4. They've given it us now, and they're saying, okay, this is the foundation, and also we're going to push a BR mode, and we're going to push some other stuff and whatever, and we're going to support this game and push it forward. It's going to be very interesting to me to see if this game can maintain an audience beyond just the launch. It's had incredible figures at the moment on Twitch. Obviously, this is people watching streams to get drops to go and actually play the game. It's had tons of people, hundreds of thousands of people in queues. It's had hundreds of thousands of people playing the game on Steam alone. You know, there's been millions of players, and this isn't the start of the main beta weekend, which obviously begins at the weekend. If you guys are watching this video on the day it went out, on the 8th of the 8th, 2025, which is a Friday. Yeah, like, it's just, there's going to be a lot of players, so there's hype. So I think they've created a good moment. They need to get the players in, capture the players, which they will, because you will all have those Battlefield moments where you'll see massive explosions, like tons of insane things just happening, and it feels insane. The question will be, can they keep those players? That's where this is going to be interesting, I think, to follow. But I'm going to straight up tell you right now, I am really impressed with this. It is a leap forward from the labs testing phase. I think it's a generational leap for the game, as insane as that sounds, because it isn't anything revolutionary. It's just Battlefield, right? But it's just Battlefield in 2025. Let's see what they can do. Let's see how they develop this. Okay, guys, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this Battlefield game. Let me know what you think if you've played it. Let me know if you're looking forward to playing it. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree. Yeah, remember you can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next video. See you soon.